Sigma INFJs make the decision to live their life outside of the social hierarchy and conventional social systems. They desire to appreciate and enjoy life as they see fit, that they must follow in order to retain their tranquility and fullest fulfillment. Here are 10 unwritten INFJ Sigma rules. Number 10, be rooted in oneself so that you are unaffected by anyone's presence or absence. Thrilled when a particular someone enters their lives, but beams with joy when someone leaves. Who creates their empire apart from the people they love in order to remain complete and whole after that person departs. Most likely an INFJ Sigma. INFJs won't let anyone's presence or absence disturb their tranquility. Without the emotional and financial support of their loved ones, their progress will continue. Similarly, whether certain people were present or not, their lives would still be the same. Because they have established their independence and detachment to the point where they no longer depend on the existence of others for their fulfillment. Sigma INFJs have always been lone wolves, after all. They are the kind of people who only maintain a small circle of close friends, but are content with just one. What other ways, as an INFJ Sigma, does emotional detachment help you? Number 9, be independent enough to rely on no one else. Sigma INFJs are not irrational outlaws. If they don't know how to swim, they won't plunge into the azure waters. Similar to how they wouldn't go camping or on a stroll in the woods without the equipment they'd need to survive the night. The thing with Sigma INFJs is that they constantly make sure they have enough self-sufficiency to stop depending on other people, because they don't want to remain close to people who have already been poisonous and destructive in their lives due of their emotional and physical reliance. They need to make sure they can take advantage of their solitude for as long as possible. They should make their seclusion and solitude as sustainable as they can, as this will help them grow more independent, because they have no issues taking care of themselves. They wouldn't have to plead with harmful individuals to remain. They don't need help when making important judgments. The life of a Sigma INFJ is meticulously thought out. They are hence the last to become trapped in codependent relationships. Number 8, you are the pilot of your own life. Sigma INFJs don't require anyone to take up their cause. They also don't require instructions on what to do and what not to do. They are the last to submit to another person's authority and the first to break the law in order to get what they want. The captains of their ships and the path navigators are Sigma INFJs. Therefore, Sigmas have no justification for placing the blame for their problems, frustrations, and disappointments on others. They are also the last to externalize the blame, because they accept that they are accountable for every decision and action. By being their own life's navigator, most things that occurred to them are under their control and awareness. As a Sigma INFJ, are you your own life's navigator? Number 7, as much as you appreciate your limits, you should value your intimate relationships. INFJs with the Sigma trait keep people at arm's length, and anyone who attempts to complain about it merely suggests that they are not intended to fit in Sigma's society. Additionally, they don't want anyone to approach too closely and go beyond their boundaries. They would avoid having to compromise their values, attitudes, interests, and way of life in favor of those of others. They constantly make it plain where they begin and where others end, and vice versa. Therefore, it is unlikely that Sigma INFJs will be uncertain of their position or their function in other people's lives. They can't force themselves into partnerships or put all of their energy into making other people happy at their expense. This is due to the fact that they appreciate and value their relationships with others just as much as they do with themselves. Number 6, nobody else can validate you but you. Sigma INFJs can avoid seeking social approval by constantly reminding themselves that their own opinion and comments are the only ones that matter. This is why they frequently look within for emotional approval rather than seeking it from others. These intelligent and independent people, a clear understanding of their needs, identities, capacities, and feelings. Therefore, Sigma INFJs have no justification for posing these queries to others, since they might only receive incorrect information. They admit that others don't truly care more about them than they do. No one is as invested in their relationships, spirituality, and mental health as they are. Therefore, there is no point in attempting to win the approval and judgment of others. People's opinions of them are erratic, contradictory, and always shifting. How could they possibly attempt to accept that? Number 5, love yourself the way you ought to be loved. Recognizing that you don't need other people to be happy is one of the hard facts of self-care. You can be emotionally fulfilled without needing to be cared for or loved. All you need to survive and feel complete is yourself. In the event when the Sigma INFJ believes that their friends, family, and close relatives have not been showing them the love they deserve, they won't even attempt to voice their displeasure, since they are capable of providing for themselves. They won't long for affection from a friend who hasn't been able to accept or validate them. Instead, they will speak to themselves as they consider what they would like to say to themselves. Number 4, spend money on yourself. While others live for and fulfill the expectations of others for half of their lives, INFJs with Sigma know better. They concentrate on their personal development while delegating work to others. They work on developing their character and improving themselves, as they anticipate others to fulfill their own needs. In truth, nobody will actually stick by them during their worst hours. Nobody is really eager to travel with them through peaks and valleys. They reason that it would be more practical to go about their own business, live according to their terms, and move at their own pace rather than collaborating with others who have different priorities. The finest silent strategy they can ever use is probably to invest in themselves. Do you constantly opt to meet your own expectations over those of others if you identified as a Sigma INFJ? Number 3, be so assured of yourself that no one can bring you down. The perfect confidence of a Sigma INFJ is another trait. Yes, they might come off as distant, reserved, and withdrawn, but that doesn't mean they're afraid to speak up or shy. It simply indicates that they won't engage with the outside world if they don't have to. Actually, being silent doesn't necessarily indicate lack of confidence. Yes, they are insecure, but they are determined to change for the better, since they have a well-thought-out strategy to deal with them. Nobody should downplay their importance or tell them how valuable they are. These confident beings are better able to describe who they are. They thoroughly analyze their options and have faith in their ability to choose wisely. Number 2, own your own business. They will speak when they want to. However, if they choose not to, they won't. For the Sigma INFJ, it's that easy. They won't let anyone, not even their closest relatives or friends, determine their course in life. They are responsible for whatever occurs to themselves in the first place. Thus, they won't let their partner change their goals or influence their judgments. They create their own narrative, pursue their own goals, and make their own decisions. They don't need to be persuaded to take a different course, because before they locked their decisions, they were already aware of the factors, obstacles, and consequences. Is working for yourself really that simple? Number 1, in all circumstances, trust your gut. Sigma INFJs have keen intuitions that enable them to detect contradictions in others' claims, recognize when anything is slightly off, and identify subtle patterns to forecast events. They have always done this to stay away from bad situations and toxic partnerships. Trusting their intuition has generally been a key component of their development and sense of inner calm. Throughout their lives, a lot of people will have ideas about what is best for them. While some people had good intentions, others also had selfish and dishonest motives. The Sigma INFJ can perceive and process both, regardless. These guidelines were developed and are followed by Sigma INFJs for many excellent reasons. These factors contributed to their being the unspoiled individuals that they are. Do you consistently abide by these rules, Sigma INFJ?